Wow. 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 What an episode. I ain't been this excited for a challenge season in a hot minute. I think World of Worlds was the last time I really got this amped and this hype for a season. And this episode really it did its due diligence. It came through with the tactical precision strikes of some. It came through with the challenge. It came through with the confessionals. It came through with the drama that we about to see with the cliffhanger. And y'all, I'm happy to say that this season is gonna be nice. It's gonna be nice. Welcome back, y'all, to the DeAndre Way. And this is a special episode for the first official launch episode of the challenge, season 40. It's time to go. So put your seatbelt on, strap up, make sure you got a life jacket, and we gonna get to it by breaking down everything that went down in this first episode. If this your first time here, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the DeAndre Way. I appreciate you having here. We're gonna be here all season long because we gonna really break it down. And I'm gonna tell y'all, we gonna look through the lens of what's really going down this season. And I am excited because we had a lot of strategic implementation going down. But we gonna get started with this. This gonna be, I don't know how long this one's gonna be. It's gonna be a little lengthy because this episode was longer than I thought. I thought it was just gonna be an hour. I didn't know it was gonna be an hour and a half. But it kept me entertained and intertwined, y'all. I'm invested. I'm invested. I knew this season coming into it, it was gonna be lit. But man, I'll tip my hat to production if I was wearing one because they came through with the fireworks. They came through with the budget. They came through with everything that I think the fans have been asking for. Transparency to what's been going on, keeping track of people's places throughout the challenge, getting rid of all the BS extra stuff that we really don't care to see. There was only one extra, I think, segment, and that was the one with the bat in the room. Other than that, everything that we could have asked for, we got. And we was eating good tonight, y'all. We was eating good. I mean, I ain't even had dinner yet, but my belly is satisfied. But we gonna get into it. We gonna break it down. We gonna start from the top. So the entrance, epic. Everyone came out the first challenge like gladiators, like people going into Sparta 300 style. I like that. Popping out the vans. Ooh, like they was ready to go after somebody. And we get, surprisingly, Avery with the first confessional of the season, if I'm not mistaken. Now, Avery, I don't know if she should have been on the cast, but hey, they trying to push her to be like, hey, maybe let's give this girl a chance. Like she was saying in the deliberation, just give me a chance. Just give me a chance. I can do it. I can do it. She needed a chance, but we'll see if she gets one. I don't think she should, but we'll see. We'll see. Hey, apologies. Avery says Era 3 will be unstoppable because they have so many strong competitors. But she ain't one of them, y'all. Uh, Avery, we'll see. I mean, you didn't prove much in All Stars 4, but maybe she can prove something in the challenge season 40. We'll see. She got a new boo thing too, so maybe that's her motivation. Maybe she didn't have Hooters wasn't enough motivation for challenge season 40, but now she has some motivation for her man back home, Adam, and he gonna be rooting for her. CT says he's happy to be home. Welcome back, CT. He took a few seasons off. I think he last was on season 37, I believe, but he was on Mercenary on season 39. Cara did throw a little shade at Kellyanne because she went through all the women in Era 2. She's like, we got Laurel, champ. We got Emily, champ. We got Aviv, champ. I'm a champ. And then we got Kellyanne. Yeah. I'm like, dang, Cara, let her live. She's a strong competitor. Kellyanne should have won, I think, one of the All Stars, I believe, but she kind of got played out of that. We find out the prize pot is $1 million to split. It's a pot. So my inclination is that they're going to split the $1 million between first place guy and first place girl. They might even split even more between second place, third place, like they've done in the past. But they haven't really been doing that as much as of recent memory. But my guess it'll be $500,000 for the first place guy, $500,000 for the first place female. And I thought the prize pool was gonna be a little more, but hey, $1 million, $500,000, $500,000. I ain't complaining about that in the least bit. They also getting paid to be there too, so hey, let's keep it moving. Corey says he's getting married if he wins. Corey, you getting all this money from Team Mom, my brother. Look. Shout out Corey too. Corey showed some love on one of my tweets. And I'm rooting for the brother. I want Corey to finally get the dub that he deserves, to be honest with you. He's been second place, third place so many times, I'm losing track. He's piled up the silver and bronze Olympic medals, and he so desperately needs that gold. It's like he's playing against Team USA every time he goes in the finals, and he just can't beat them. He missed his chance in 2004, you know? So did Anissa. So he really needs to get this win out of anybody, and he's in prime position to set himself up for a dub by just throwing Jordan in. I think that the decision is simple. It's simple. Jordan will understand, like, oh, you threw a strong competitor in. Okay, cool. But, he has Tori to kind of deal with that as well. And I don't know if she's going to make that shake. She might say, I'll go into elimination over Jordan. So good luck, Corey. But he needs to throw Jordan in. But we'll get there. Aviv says maybe she'll get some new boobs if she wins. Aviv, you're fine how the way you are. I like you just the way you are. Carrie Hilson settings. Aviv, don't change yourself. Just keep doing what you're doing because you're looking great, Aviv. You looking better than ever. And welcome back, sister. Or, welcome back. So we have the Era Invitational, which is going to be the first challenge, and it's called Light It Up. There will be 8 eliminations that will happen the first night, and how this goes down is it's a race to they get the race to a puzzle. Doesn't seem that far of a run, and they put the letter 40 together with this puzzle. The puzzle doesn't seem too hard. I think they should just stack it. How I would do it is stack it on flat first and then bring it up so they know what they're doing, because it seems easier to do that than if it falls a piece, then you won't be able to get it together. So do that, as well as CT had some tips as well, but they get the number 40 put together. Then they have to get out to these buoys on these little rafts, these circular rafts, and gather 10 lights with each team, with the team color of their era. And they got to plug the lights in. Pretty simple, understandable. I like this first type of challenge. Everyone for themselves. No team BS. I like that. Now, I wouldn't mind if it was a team thing, because then we could see how everyone works together. I kind of wish it was team versus team versus team versus team. I think I would have loved that. But it seems like it's an individual game at the end of the day. We're working as a team, but at the end of the day, it's me for myself. It's not like the older challenges to where we are working pretty much as a team in every single one. So I think that threw people off a little bit. Maybe Katie thought we was going in there, we're going to work as a team. We're going to work as a team. Nah, it's just Katie by herself. It's just Tina by herself. It's everybody by themselves. So that was a little surprising, but that's the challenge. There's always going to be things that people ain't really expecting. They say Big Brother, expect the unexpected. It's the challenge, expect the unexpected. Nah, I would have loved to see them work as a team, but that's just what settings TJ working on right now. So it's not looking bode well for some of the weaker competitors, because they could have been saved. And I don't like to see same era going against same era like we saw on one of the challenges, which was Battle for New Champion. Battle of Invasion of the Champions, where the challengers on the same team, the champions win against each other, and then the competitors win against each other. The competitors against the champions. I want to see them go against each other. That's the only complaint I do have. I want to see Katie go against Avery. I want to see Anissa go against Nerys. Well, maybe not Nerys, but you get my point. I want to see the eras intertwine and go against each other, because I just think that you eliminating each other just kind of ruins it a little bit for me. I wish maybe they do the vote and 2 alone elimination, then it's shuffled, and then they could go against somebody from the other eras. That would be cool. I would love to see that, but that's not what time they on. But everything else, I think it was great. I just think the one little wrinkle could have been fixed. Jenny says she knows she gonna cook everybody. She ain't worried about nobody on her team. She had the biggest muscles for the guys and the girls on her team, so she knows what time it is, and it's her time to shine. She's just ready to be back and dominate. Okay, Jenny, we see you. We see you. Uh, yes, and the losing male and female is going straight into elimination. No ifs, ands, buts, or coconuts. The other person going into elimination will be chosen by the winner of each team. So, pays to be the winner, and it also you got to pay the price of being a loser. Excuse my little nasalness too. Got a little sinuses going down. So everyone's looking stressed once TJ says these rules. It's like jumping right into hot water, and they, couldn't cool off. Ironically enough, the water did seem rather heated. It didn't seem cold at all. Nobody was complaining about that. People were swimming in the water, so there didn't seem to be a bad element about it. I think once you get the puzzle, as long as you get that, you should be cool and get the raft going at a decent, speed and velocity and just get a good rhythm on it. And if you never use a paddleboard, then you SOL, as we saw with some of them. And it seemed like the boats were unstable as well. It seemed they were built like in the 1960s with some of these wooden rafts. I mean, it looks cool with the lights on it and the water reflecting off of that as well. But the boats, they needed to fix the boats. I definitely was a cause for concern with some people, especially Devin's boat breaking down. I'm surprised CT's boat didn't break down. It is big ass. I mean, how did CT get the thing afloat? They must have built CT's extra sturdy, and Devin's. Actually, I think CT probably took Devin's boat, and Devin took CT's boat. I don't know. Yeah, I'm just making stuff up. But anyways, the boats did not seem like they were all built accordingly. Cause yeah, it was a mess. It was a mess. People was falling out their boats left and right. But CT somehow didn't fall out of his boat. So Ryan says, Ryan, ain't nobody scared of Ryan. We'll just put it like that. And he says he's, looking at his team like, oh, like, I'm ready to beat anybody on my team. Ryan, ain't nobody scared of you. Ain't nobody looking at you like that, brother. And he only has Derek's back, which we know. And the setup for the challenge looks dope. Like I said, the lights really bring it. They have some cool effects going on in the background. It looks sick. It looks sick. I mean, the pictures that I've seen on social media, I know Mark posted some. It looked really dope. I like the pictures. So they take off. Boom. It's like a stampede, and it's dope to see everybody running out. Rachel knows she's one of the best, and she wants to solidify that. She's the top dog female on Era 1, and everyone knows it, and they just got to keep up. So Kara Kara couldn't find her puzzle at the beginning. I'm like, Kara, come on now, they got the lights out. You got to be able to find it. I don't know how she couldn't find it, but that might have been the determining factor of her not winning her heat. Funnily enough. Coming into the season, she knows she has to beat Laurel. That's her number one mission. She wants to beat Laurel more, it seems like, than she wants to win. I don't blame her after how last season went. But Kara, focus, run your race. If you beat Laurel, you will win the race. So just focus on that, Kara. You got it. We were all rooting for you because we know what hell that you've been through last season on All Stars 4. And we know how much you wanted to be back, and we all wanted you back. So we all Team Kara up in here. I don't care. If you ain't Team Kara, you got to go to another page because this is a Kara fan page. Laurel gets her puzzle done before Kara even finishes her confessional, though. I mean, Laurel just, boom, done. I'm like, damn, Laurel. Does she got the cheat codes hidden somewhere in her pocket? I mean, dang. Laurel finishes the puzzle before the episode even gets 5 minutes in, which is crazy. And she says once again how she's trying to eliminate Kara, as she does every season. Laurel, we get it. You have an obsession with Kara. Why are you trying to take out the stronger on your team? I mean, look. That is her number one competitor, and she knows it deep down. So maybe that's like, look, that's my biggest competition. So if I get rid of that, I'm cruising to the end, and I'm going to win. Because Kara did almost beat her on All Stars 4. Laurel knows that. And if Kara got that close to beating her when Laurel had all those handicaps, you think Kara won't beat you without the handicaps? She does. She knows that Kara would beat her without the handicaps. So she needs to get Kara out as soon as possible. So in that case, I understand. But Laurel keeps trying to play fake friends with Kara. I guess that's to get her guard down, and Laurel knows how Kara is, but that's mental manipulation. Who needs enemies when you got friends like that? Kara, like I said in the episode 0 opening, drop Laurel, kick her to the curb, and move past her. Who needs friends like that? You don't even need to entertain it. She has to right now because Laurel's in power, but Once Laurel's out of power, man, kick it to the curb. And once the season's over, really kick it to the curb. Block her phone number, block her Instagram, put a restraining order out on her. Everything, Carl. Don't do nothing to do with Laurel, please. And Carl does admit she's a little nervous going into this first challenge, as everyone is. Johnny says he doesn't know how he's going to stack up against the other guys on his team. Johnny, let's look at your team real quick, Johnny. You got Brandon. Ain't been on a regular season challenge in forever. Derek ain't been on a season in forever. Nehemiah ain't been on a regular season in forever. Ryan ain't been on a regular season in forever. Johnny Bananas, stop the cap. You know that you the strongest man by far on your squad. Don't act like you even a little bit nervous of anybody on your team. He's trying to pull a fast one on us, y'all. Don't fall for his antics. Johnny, let's get real. CT says there's shapes in the puzzle pieces as a guide to help him finish, so he knew what time it was. CT's one of the king of puzzles, and he's been around the block, done a million puzzles. He knows the tips and tricks. Maybe got tipped off by a few along the way, but he gets his done quickly as well. He does shade some of the members on his team by saying they might be here for a vacation, and hey, Katie might be here for a vacation, but hey, let her live her best vacation life. He's like, I don't need another Veronica Final Reckoning style, if you know what I'm talking about, on my team. He's seen enough of that. And he sees that in Katie and probably Anissa as well. He knows Anissa wants to compete, but he doesn't believe in Anissa, as most people don't. Obvious reasons. She has never won. Even Katie's won a challenge, you know? And so CT knows the time it is. He's here for business, and he's here to get his check. Okay. Laurel and Carl neck and neck. Tony's struggling with the puzzle. Tony time. Come on. It ain't Tony time right now. It's Tony time ain't even started on All Stars 4. We didn't even get the clock set. Tony need to set his clocks because they're still stuck on US time and they need to be in Vietnamese time, and he's just struggling right now. I want to see Tony do well. Tony was on one of the last Real World seasons, Real World Skeletons. I'm rooting for Tony. Tony's a dog. He's a beast. He should have been one by now. Tony realistically should be the face of the challenge if you want to be 100. But he had a lot of things pop up, family problems, family matters, that he had to take all these breaks. But he's back, and hopefully Tony can put out a good showing this season. I'm rooting for Tony. Hopefully, he eventually gets his puzzle together. Anissa says she wants... This was crazy to me, y'all. Anissa says she wants her 14th elimination win to be Cara. Anissa, why do you want more elimination wins? You don't want to go back into elimination. You said you want your 14th elimination win, but now you're pleading not to go into elimination. The math ain't math, and Anissa, we got to get transparency from you. Do you want to go in the elimination and win your 14th to beat the record, or do you not want to go in? That doesn't make any sense. She's telling us one thing in the confessional and telling us a different thing. It just ain't adding up. It ain't adding up. The math ain't mathing. Corey is usually cooked at puzzles, but he finishes his puzzle quite quickly. So we proud of you, Corey. Let's go. Let's go. You the only young buck left. So, and doesn't look like the other two coming back anytime soon. Tonally finally finishes the puzzle. And the edit makes it hard to see who's first and who's last because as we see some people finish, I see a ton of boats left, even when other people have already finished. So it's hard to really keep track with the edit of who really finishes overall first. I really wanted to see that. Was it Laurel that finishes before every single person? We don't know. But it's crazy. I mean, Laurel's that dominant. It's insane. Like, I can't believe it. I can't believe my eyes when I'm seeing, like, she's transferring All Stars 4 over to the Challenge 40. It's insane. That's why I kind of wish the girls didn't have to go against their own era. I wish it was separated by the 2 worst overall girls, or the 8 worst overall girls and the 8 worst overall guys. I think that's what should have been, but that's the time they was on, and I think the 8 overall fastest people should have been the ones deciding who all should have went in. That's what I think. And they would have had a vote off. That would have been cool. Guy or 4 fastest guys, 4 fastest girls, boom. And 4 slowest girls, 4 slowest guys, boom. That's what it should have been. But sometimes the challenge lacks real transparency. But hey, we keep it moving. Paulie and Theo are struggling in the last with the puzzle. They're the last two for their era. People are falling off the boat left and right, as I explained earlier, built by makeshift, underpaid sweatshops. Apparently, Laurel says no matter how hard she tries, Kara won't go away. She's just reiterating. I'm tired of the reiteration points, Laurel. We get it. You don't like Kara. You a fake friend to her. You really a foe. You really a wolf in sheep's clothing. We understand these things. But I'm just so tired, y'all. I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm tired of the storyline. We need to move on because I need some sleep from the storyline. Please let this not be a whole nother thing, which it seems like it's going to be about Challenge 40. I need you to go. I need Laura to go. I'm sorry. I need her to go because if you watch season 4 of All Stars, you know what I'm talking about. If you ain't, it's skippable. But basically, Laurel just wants Kara out the whole time. She needs to get over on her high horse about this whole Kara thing because it's getting sad and obsessive at this point. Laurel, it's getting sad and obsessive. But Laurel wins, so she's in power. She decides what's going down, and obviously she's talking this big mess about Kara. We already know where her head's at. She doesn't even got to say 2 words in the deliberation to kind of know what's going to go down. I feel bad for Kara, because Kara finished right behind Laurel. Kara finishes seemingly seconds behind Laurel, and she knows what time it is. That's why she's just in a funk. She's sick of it. She had to deal with this for a whole season. Now she got to deal with a whole nother season. The producers set Kara up with this. I mean, Laurel deserves to be there, but dang, the settings was not in Kara's favor. So we get Laurel wins, first overall for Era 2. CT and Rachel finished first for Era 1. They dominate. Tina finished second with Brad. Paulie and Leroy finishes the puzzle late as hell, as we said. And Leroy's falling out his boat. Now, Leroy. Come on now, Leroy. You didn't have the best showing in South Africa on All Stars 4. You made it to the final. But you got swept out there by Veronica. And now you're falling out your boat, brother. What's going on, Leroy? I think it's a little bad juju he has going on with the style of gameplay he was playing in All Stars 4. I think that can be a carryover effect about, how you're going to do this season. It takes a lot to kind of get that bad juju off of you. Now, if you left the season on a good high note, then maybe you can start the new one fresh. But if you left the last season on a bad note, it can be a carryover effect. I believe in that. It's an energy thing. And Leroy's energy last season was not the best. Now, he got a fresh cut now. He cleaned up and lined up. He seems like he's ready to go. Cam's not there to kind of be like kind of a distraction for him and alter his wise decision making. So maybe we're going to get a new Leroy, but the performance is just going like a roller coaster. It's going down like Mary J. Blige. It's going down. So please, Leroy, we need you to pull it together. But this episode, he doesn't. He doesn't. And Leroy is it ain't looking too hot. It ain't looking too hot. But yes, Tori finishes first for Era 3, so she is safe. Jordan and Tori are working together. Shocker. I don't want a repeat storyline of season 38 of Jordan and Tori again, of fighting, but then they're lovers and they're fighting and they're lovers. We know they're on a team at this point. They have some weird relationship to where they were engaged and now they're not even together, but they're still each other's number ones. I don't want to see this storyline either, y'all. There's 2 storylines I don't want to see. Kara and Laurel and Tori and Jordan. Those storylines can get cut in the cutting room floor. Please just let those sit out. And we got comments. Lit start to the season. I'm gonna get to the comments as we get through the live chat as we get through. Appreciate you, Justin, for chiming in. Corey does deserve the W. And yeah, the first challenge you saw was Cutthroat. The first challenge I saw was Fresh Meats. So I'm Era 2. I'm an Era 2 person at heart. But we'll get to the comments at the end. Keep them flowing. I appreciate y'all chiming in. Yes, so Michelle wins for Era 4 girls. Michelle, shout out Hoboken Michelle. I don't have her. Michelle cries a lot, which we see later, but Michelle's a cool one. I don't mind Michelle. I'm not a big fan of what she did on Challenge 39, but That's just what her game plan was. She seems a little bit of a follower for me, but I hope Michelle this season she stands up, puts her own pants on, and doesn't kind of ride anyone else's coattails and ships. Olivia this season. Jenny lost her light, or Jenny would have won, I believe. So yeah, that kind of sucked for her. But hey, you snooze, you lose, Jenny. You got to keep track of your lights. She lost them in the boat ride over to America or Vietnam. Horacio wins for Era 4 as well. So Michelle and Horacio are the leaders. Corey wins for Era 3. So shout out Corey. Corey coming in strong. Corey usually does well on the dailies. I will give him that. He does well. He doesn't always win, but he does pretty well and always puts in a good showing. So shout out Corey and the clean braids. I see you, Corey. You got cleaned up nice before you came here. So maybe he needs to keep Leroy. He wants Leroy to stay to keep him clean. I don't know who braids Corey's hair on all these seasons, but whoever does, keep him on payroll, please. Banana wins for Era 2, shocker. Avery says, Avery seems like she's on a kind of another planet for this, but Avery says that she wonders the crazy things people will do for this money. Avery, people gonna do whatever they need to do for this money. They gonna cut your head off. They gonna stab you in the back, the side, the ankle, the knee. They gonna stab you anywhere they see some fresh flesh. Avery ain't been around so long. She's like, oh my gosh, like these people will do anything for the money. Avery, yes. These people need the money. Some of them do. Not all of them, but Avery, yes. This show is a cutthroat show, Avery. If you didn't know, it's called The Challenge. It's season 40. 40 hungry people for this money. Even when the people with the money. So you better get with the program or get lost. Anyways, Nerese is mad as because she lost. She mad. She Hispanic mad. Now, if you ever seen a mad Latina lady, you don't want to get involved with that. Horacio, you should know better. You Hispanic Latino. You know to not mess with the Latina ladies once they are angry. So get away. Get far away. Don't console them. Don't say it's okay. Just let them be mad. And she's hot. Woo, she's burning up right now because she's now Nerese. She's the smallest girl on her team by far. She's the smallest girl, so she knows if it's some headbang or physical, she's going home. Now, hopefully, it's not the case because I like Nerese, but she's in a tough situation. She got big ass Jenny, big ass Olivia. And who else? Big ass Casey. So it's looking tough for Nerese right now, but she's hot. I mean, she even starts speaking Spanish. She's like, Nerese, you had me crying when she was going in. Now look, my Spanish is bad, but I can understand what she was saying. They had to cut. They're like, look, just say something that we can keep in the clip, Nerese, because we need our Spanish speakers. We got to bleep it out in Spanish too, just because you cussing them out. But Nerese was hot. Katie gets hot too, and she would have been cussing things. She cussed the oar out and broke the oar by slamming it. I love Katie because Katie's gonna give us that authenticity. She's OG to the OG to the OG. I'm just happy Katie is at least going for it. I don't expect Katie to do that amazing in the challenge, but it's just funny seeing how she got so frustrated at the orb by she broke it. But shout out Katie, even though she finishes last. We kind of seen that coming a little bit. It was either Katie or Anissa. Theo finishes last for Era 4, so he's automatically going in. Kellyanne finishes last for Era 2. She's automatically going in. Nia finishes last for Era 3. She's going in. Devin's boat sinks, and somehow he finishes. Don't know how that happened. I'm surprised they let him finish, but I guess if the boat sank, he didn't have any control over it. I mean, maybe some people would have finished better. Katie could have just swam, but that seemed like a long swim, and they had life jackets, and the water didn't seem cold. So, hey, maybe that was the move to swim, and it might have been easier for some. Especially, so I might have just swam if I couldn't get the thing going right. As long as you don't lose any lights, there wasn't no part of the rules that said you couldn't swim. Devin did it. So I don't see why more people wouldn't try. I would have tried at that point. So I don't know. Really weird with the rules. Sometimes always with the challenge, we don't get transparency with following the rules and whatnot. So I don't know. Maybe there should have been a DQ if your boat sank or you couldn't get your boat across. We don't know because we saw with The final in War of the Worlds 2, if you didn't get the gurney across properly, you had a penalty. They didn't really explain that in the rules, I don't think, at the beginning either. Sometimes they just be throwing rules in there. Like, oh, there's another rule. We didn't mention that. Oh, there's another rule. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. It look a little fishy with that one, but hey, we gonna keep it moving. We gonna keep it moving. Excuse me. Hey, excuse me, y'all. Sorry about that. Yeah, but the water doesn't seem to be cold. Mark finishes last for Era 1. Katie, obviously, I said last for Era 1. Anissa says she feels safe because Rachel won. They used to date in the past. Anissa, come on now. Y'all's history, y'all don't even talk. I mean, I don't know if y'all talk like that, but y'all dated so long ago. And like, Anissa, she shouldn't try to convince herself that she wouldn't be the one thrown out. I think the best psyche for this is you got to assume you are going in to keep yourself prepared and not shocked, unless it's your best friends in there. She's not picking Tina. It's between Tina, Katie, and Anissa. She's not picking Tina. That's her best friend. Or no. It's between Tina, Jody, and Anissa. She's not picking Tina. So it's between you and Jody, basically. And that's when you got to play the relationship part. She should have, but Jody's a strong competitor. She knows CT ain't going for it. So Rachel was her last hope, but we'll get there. We'll get there. I'm jumping the gun, y'all. I'm jumping the gun. Devin is, just start choking up water because he had to swim, but he finishes. He said Leroy has played shady in the past and wouldn't mind seeing him go home. He must have watched All Stars 4. Devin was doing his homework before he came here. Devin and Leroy really ain't ever been on the same page. Ryan finished last for Era 2. Ryan says Laurel will be the poison for the team. Woo, even Ryan knows what's up. So apparently we missed some drama. Ryan and Laurel apparently had a falling out. Now, they were working together on All Stars 4. But apparently, when Nicole and Laurel, thank Jesus we ain't got that storyline. Thank goodness. That would be I'm glad we ain't got that one, y'all. But thank goodness Nicole ain't here. But apparently, Nicole and Laurel, when they eventually finished the show and broke up, that Ryan took Nicole's side of the situation. Don't know the whole situation, don't really care about how the situation fallout was. But Laurel got upset with Ryan about that, and now she has beef with Ryan. It's a cluster. It's a clusterfuck with that one, y'all. It's a mess. Their dynamic is kind of crazy and insane, and Ryan is basically on Laurel's hit list now. And yeah, that's gonna be an interesting thing to watch if Ryan is able to stay in the game. But yeah, he's trying to get Nicole. He's trying to get Laurel out too. So shout out Ryan. We on Team Ryan. We wasn't really on Team Ryan or All Stars 4, but now we on Team Ryan because he knows what time it is, and he's finally awoken from his slumber. He's gone. He's out the shadow realm. He had the Monster Reborn card, and now he really sees the light. He got his LASIK eye surgery done, so he really can fully see what's going down and what side he should be taking. Amanda knows that shit. If she goes in, she's dead. Because she would have to go against Nia. Nia's big as hell compared to Amanda. I mean, Nia's the biggest girl on the cast, it seems like. Tallest, at least. Like, she's damn near 6 foot, if not 6 foot. So, Amanda, look, I know she got to stick to her guns and she don't like Tori, but she got to use that mental manipulation. Tori really wants to be friends with Amanda. She wants to squash it. And if Amanda would just fake be nice, which I know she can't do and she won't, but Amanda, I want to see you stay in the game. You got to just suck it up a little bit. Look, it's kiss ass season, and sometimes we got to do the things we don't want to do to get the results that we want. Just sometimes, until it's time to stop doing that and we get what we want. Amanda, you got to do it. You got to do that. Sometimes that's just how life is. We got to have to suck it up. We got to go to work with the people we don't want to be around and kind of be fake nice for a little bit. We got to go do these activities in the group chat with the people that we don't want to do them with. But sometimes we just got to do that. So Amanda, please, for the fans, just smile. I mean, shake her hand, something. Do something, Amanda, please. Because I want to see you. I like Amanda. If you don't, I'm sorry, but I like Amanda. But yeah, she's in a pickle. But hopefully Corey has her back. But hey, doesn't seem like he does so far. Laurel is debating between Cara and Aviv. And Laurel wants Emily on the team. She wants a strong team. But Laurel, you're not making sense. Hold on. You say you want a strong team. You say Emily's a strong girl. I want to keep her. Isn't Kara a strong girl? Now, Aviv is a strong girl too. They're all strong. Uh, but you're using that argument isn't using that argument you want a strong team isn't really conclusive in you making a decision because Kara's strong just like Emily. And Kara finished above Emily, so isn't she seemingly stronger if you want the strongest team? Your arguments ain't matching up. It ain't adding up. 1 plus 1 again ain't equaling 2 for Laurel. Shocker. Kellyanne wants to win for the animals. Shout out the animals. We just finished. If you ain't seen the review I just did over the Inside the Mind of a Dog, check it out. We love the animals. I used to help out at an animal shelter and a dog sitting business. Man, shout out Kellyanne for helping the animals. We can't help them all, but we can try to. So shout out Kellyanne. Johnny says him and Laurel have not even spoken about the decision. That's cap. They definitely talk because if you can see after the challenge is done, they are talking on the way back. You guys act like Johnny. Stop capping to us, Johnny. I don't mind Johnny Bananas too, but when he starts lying to us, to the public, when there's evidence that y'all were literally talking on the way back from the challenge, that's not cool. Don't lie to our faces. Come on, Johnny. I want to root for you, but you just keep giving me reasons not to. Come on, Johnny. That's why you got out first on the traders, because you was capping everybody. They knew what time it was. Everyone is trying to, so it's time. Everybody gets back to the house. We done with the challenge. Everybody's up partying. Everyone's trying to, look, it's time to go to bed at 9 o'clock. I don't blame y'all. I'm not at that stage of my life where I'm trying to go to bed at 9 o'clock, but I definitely understand what time y'all on. Corey and Tony are talking about who should go in. Corey, it's obvious. You should throw Jordan in. I think it's a no-brainer. It's between Tony, Corey, and Devin. If you want to trim the fat on your team, I guess, with the athletic competitors, throw Devin in, I guess. Devin's a quality performer, but Corey doesn't owe Devin anything, and they're not really friends like that. So, and Devin has done Corey dirty in the past and beat him, so you should throw him in. You should definitely throw Jordan in too, because that's your toughest competition. This is the first challenge. If you can get a tough competitor out really early, do it. Do it. I don't see the logic in keeping the really strong the competitors that you've lost to in the past on. If you want it, you have two options. This is the two ways you can go if you're the team captains. Two ways. You can choose to keep a strong team, or you can choose to get rid of your strong competitors. There's one way or the other. There's not really another way to go, unless you guys, I guess you have beef with somebody, like Laurel has with Kara. Keep the strong competitors so your team wins, or eliminate the people that can beat you. And it's seeming like this is going to be an individual game, not a team game. So if it's an individual game, if it's me and it's I'm an individual, I got to pick the people that can beat me. I got to pick the people that's going to beat me in these games so I can win. I would want to keep a Derek. I want to keep a Ryan. I want to keep a, not too many weak guys in this cast, what's his name? Brandon. I want to keep these guys because I can beat them in the end. And if Corey does not pick Jordan, and you think he's going to help you? Have you seen? Look, Jordan's not a slimy kind of player. That's not his style. But he will backstab you if he needs to backstab you. And he will selfishly pick himself over you. So why would you not? I just think that's a obvious decision. Now, Tori's there who he has to discuss with. But at the same time, Corey, you can push your agenda hard and get him in. And I already know how this is going to go. If they don't make a decision by the time the sand is up, then it's going to be like, oh, well, you guys are up for elimination now, and you guys have to go in the sand. Tori, she might crash out for Jordan, shockingly enough, and then Corey would have to go in elimination. Now, Corey should not go. So if that's the case, then you need to pick somebody. But Corey, pick Jordan. There's no other option. If you can't pick Jordan, then pick Devin, because Tony has never really beaten you like that. The only time Tony's really beaten you is when you slide tackled him and made him fall to the ground, so you got eliminated over some pasta. So I don't think Tony is a big competition for Corey. I think he should be able to see that. Tony hasn't been in the game in a minute. You have. You can beat Tony. You even said it yourself. So why would you not choose to keep him? Makes no sense. Makes no sense why this is even a thought in his mind. But sometimes the Young Bucks, that's the problem the Young Bucks had. They wasn't all the way there up here. So I don't know, Corey. I don't know. That's the only questionable decision that you going on this. Every episode was going great for you until this part where you just really it's just obvious. Even Jordan knows you should throw him in. He just won't say it. Bananas says he thinks it's dumb for Horacio and Nurys to be in a relationship on the show. Bananas, you've been in a million relationships on the show. Like, look, you ain't one now, but that's because you ain't really any options for you. But if there was, I'm sure that you would try and find your showmance for the season. So stop it again. Bananas just keeps. Everything that Bananas saying right now is just not. It's just not it for me. It just ain't it. Let them be in love. I love to see the relation. The relationship actually seems legit too. Like they're two really sweet people, and you're saying it's dumb for them to be in a relationship. What? That didn't make sense. Nurys thinks Olivia might be the best choice. I think that's facts. Because you got Kate. Jenny, no. It's a no for me. Like, I see, even as guys, I wouldn't want to go against Jenny. No. That's a no from me off the get-go. And then you have Casey. That's a no. That's a no. It's an obvious choice. It needs to be. And you got beef with her as well. Just Olivia. Theo says Paulie is his target and might suggest to Horacio just to pick, to volunteer Paulie as his choice. I think that's a smart choice. Paulie's way smaller than you, like stature-wise. He's strong. Paulie's strong, and I'm rooting for Paulie. But for Theo's case, it's either Paulie or who is it? Paulie, Josh, or who's the other guy for Era 4? Kyland? Kyland. Yeah. Paulie, Josh, or Kyland. I think Theo can beat all three of them, to be honest with you. Especially Josh. I mean, if he wants to easy win, pick Josh. Josh, I don't know how Josh is sliding under the rug on this. I didn't know he had an alliance with Theo or anything like that, but he must have worked something out that we did not see for Theo not to just call Josh out. Oh, Josh, I want you. He's picking Paulie. And Paulie's actually could be a really strong competitor for the team. So I don't know. I guess they do have that rivalry going back to World of Worlds where Paulie just kept getting Theo thrown in and eventually sent home. But yeah, interesting. He's picking one of the strong competitors on his team. So I don't know, Theo. I mean, that's some you being real and standing 10 toes down in the sand, but don't get sent home because of your your ego and your macho-ness. Your macho manness. Macho man. Everybody wanted to be a macho man. Except Corey, who needs to throw Jordan in elimination. And I like also, side note, I like how they're doing the deliberation, how they're separating the teams. I'm glad they didn't put everybody in one room and had everybody throwing their little 2 cents in on who should get thrown in. Because then nothing really gets accomplished. And then you're getting people's opinions that don't really have anything to do with it. I still think they should have did top 4 overall guys and top 4 overall girls. But the setting, the way they have it done, I like how they have it done with the deliberations being separated. It saves a lot of unnecessary commentary. And it only involves the people involved, not the peanut gallery. So yes. CT wants a strong team is suggesting that Darrell should go in. So I don't want Darrell to go in. That's Black Adam. That's my dog. That's the guy who that's my favorite challenger on the whole season is Darrell. I always want to see him do well. Because it's between Darrell, Derek, and Brad. I think Era 1 is in the toughest spot because we all love Era 1. Era 1, shout out Era 1. We're going to put him up real quick. I think everyone on Era 1 is likable. Everyone. I'm rooting for all of Era 1. I really want to see somebody from Era 1 come through. But they must pick someone, and I think that someone should be Brad. If they watch All Stars 4, they seen Brad crash out, and he can lose himself in the music the moment he wants it. And I think that is probably the weakest guy on the team, and you need to send him in if you want your team to be strong. Now, Mark is friends with everybody. Mark is friends with everybody in Era 1, Era 2, Era 3, Era 4. Mark is an executive producer. you know, he gonna get paid regardless. Now he wants to stay, but Mark is like, look, pick who y'all want to pick. I'm friends with everybody. I don't want to go against my friends, but they're all my friends. So he's in a shit situation. And so CT and Derek are talking, and they have a conversation on who should go in. So we get to the round table, as I discussed, and Derek eventually nominates himself to go in elimination. He's a stand-up guy because Darrell, like, look, I wouldn't nominate myself to go in for Derek, but I appreciate him for doing that for me. Darrell, I don't know what you did for Derek in the past, gave him a kidney or something, but Derek's like, look, I owe everything to this dude. And that shout out to Derek, man. You a real one for standing up for a brother. We never see people stand up for brothers like that in this show. And you are my good graces forever for that. So shout out for you standing 10 toes for a brother. Because we don't ever get to see that on these shows very often. I mean, Big Brother right now, he's not looking like somebody gonna stand up for a brother. But Derek, you have my undoubtedly respect forever and ever and ever. So he's going in elimination against Mark, which is going to be a crazy matchup. They're two really good friends, and yeah, we'll see. Best man, may the best man win. But Derek, high respect for you. Ryan says he pretty much wants to go in against Brandon because Derek is his best friend and he has lost to Nehemiah before. Hey, Ryan standing 10 toes down too. He's being a macho man himself because he's calling them out. Everybody getting called out these episodes. But yes, I mean, I don't think that's a bad choice. That's his best chance of winning. I mean, Nehemiah, I think, would toss Ryan around and whatever it would be. And he's not picking Derek. So he just said, let me make it easy and not make no enemies. And hopefully I can make allies out of this. Smart move, Ryan. Very, very smart strategic move. Hey, Brandon don't like it, but Brandon, you should have made better friends with Ryan on All Stars 4, or else this might not have happened. Then he might have just said Nehemiah, but I don't know. Brandon pretty much is in a situation. I mean, his best choice might have been to lose, so then he got to pick who he wanted. But I think it was going to be Brandon versus Nehemiah, regardless of the outcome. So those two, the matchup. Tony, it's time for Era 3 to talk, and Tony brings a good point to Corey about Jordan. He says, look, he's won multiple times. He's going to win the final if he's in it. You haven't beaten him. Why not try and get rid of him now? You can beat me. Hey, good argument. Great argument, actually. I love it. But is Corey going to listen? Is his braids too tight on his head? We'll see on the next episode of Dragon Ball Z. I don't know if he's going to listen. It's looking like he's not. I hope he does, but I don't know. Because John A knows that Tori ain't picking Jordan. She knows what time. And she's like, look, Tori, you wasting your breath if you trying to talk to Tori. Tori got her arms crossed like, huh? Who? You want to pick who? Where? With who? Tori ain't having it. Tori's like, nah, coach. Anybody but my boo. I mean, it's crazy that she's still so protective. I don't know what kind of relationship they got going on, but it's strong. It's strong. I wish I need a relationship like that where we not even dating, but you got my ungodly. You gonna come to my defense over everything. You gonna play every defense card on the Yu-Gi-Oh deck for me. That's love. That's love right there. If that ain't love, I don't know what is. And if that ain't love, then I don't want it. You got to give me that kind of love. That Tori Jordan love where y'all ain't even dating and you still got each other's backs. And Jordan says, I'll repay you, Corey. I got your back. I've never went back on my word against anybody in this game. Ever. I don't know about that, Jordan. I'm not going to pull up the receipts. But that's kind of statement you're saying. And Corey, come on now. You think he's not going to go back? We'll see. We'll see. Nari says she wants Olivia. Everybody standing 10 toes, like I said. Michelle starts crying. Michelle, get it together. You're the one who kind of was in the middle of this whole problem in the first place. So I don't know why you're trying to hate. I hate when people try and play victim. And you're playing victim right now, Michelle. This is why people ain't effing with you. Just stay. Just why? What's with the waterworks? I don't understand. Like I know that's your friend, but come on now. Like this is a game, and you crying on the first episode. I mean, I don't think you winning. I don't think you. I ain't gonna say I don't think you're gonna win the show because you cried on the first episode, but it's not a good sign. So Michelle, get it together. And I'm glad there's a timer on this thing so they can't keep going and going and going. Johnny tells Kara to turn her frown upside down. Johnny, stop it. Johnny even knows what time it is. See, I hate how they doing Kara like this. They trying to stomp her out already. Johnny, stop it. Emily knows the fireworks are about to start when Kara begins. But Kara keeps her composure. So shout out Kara. Kara says her, Johnny, and Laurel should start fresh because she finished second overall as well. We can need to bury the past, put it in the ground, and let's start anew. We can do it, y'all. We can be the strongest era possible, but we need to do what is right, and that is not send me into elimination. Now, unfortunately for Kara, it's not like she has like an easy bone to throw and a weak link on the team to just say, hey, like we need to be the strongest team. Let's throw Avery in. Well, Avery's not on your era. Okay, let's throw Anissa in. Well, Anissa's not in your era. So Kara's kind of stuck, and the only thing she has is Aviv. Aviv has no relationships in this game, really. She has none except Darrell, for really, in Era 1. I think the option would be to throw Aviv in and prove herself. Prove yourself. But Laurel, she's on some other time. She's on that, Laurel's on that Fresh Meat 2 time. She's on that All Stars 4 time. She's on that, I'm in every season I do with Kara, I'm going to get her out time. So, that seems, I'm pretty sure Kara's going in. She got her two biggest ops up there. Johnny don't really mess with her either, obviously, from the past. Kara got Johnny out in the last couple seasons they did together. So, yeah, Johnny and Laurel, I'm sorry to say, Kara, but it looks like you going in. It doesn't matter what you say. Their logic isn't, the logic isn't going to apply to them too. So I think you better just save in your breath and just say, look, I know y'all going to throw me in anyways, and just stand 10 toes and just say, I'm going, and just got to face the music. But good for Kara is, I think she can win. I think that, you know, Kara can win against all the girls on her team. But Kellyanne is the weak link on their team. Kellyanne's strong, but Kara can beat Kellyanne. I think Kara just needs to have confidence in herself and go in there and just be ready. Because her mental's going to be stable. She won't have to sacrifice herself by pleading the case to her teammates. Like, just go in and take care of business like we all know that you can do. I mean, Emily knows it's messy, and Emily knows, like, she's safe. You know, Laurel must have told Emily, like, you ain't got to worry about nothing. That's why she's so quiet. Laurel gave the heads up to Emily. Bananas can't put the past behind him. Bananas, you got to. But Bananas don't care. He's safe. He really doesn't care at all. Like, Bananas really don't mess with anybody on his team like that. Like, has that strong of a bond. Bananas actually doesn't have any really close allies in this whole season except Leroy. So Bananas is kind of alone too, if you think about it. So Bananas is just like, I don't care. Like, so on his end, he's a lone wolf essentially, because he knows Leroy ain't really focused this season, and he has that bad juju. He watched All Stars 4. I mean, he did reviews over the show, or interviews over the show, and recaps over the show. So he knows what time it is. So he's just gonna kind of do what he needs to do. Jody says if they want the Era wants the strongest team, they will keep her. Good argument. Good argument. Anissa says she knows CT will pick her to go into elimination because he always does. Facts. CT does always pick Anissa to go into elimination because she is the weak link. Obvious reasons. I believe CT was partnered with Anissa once on, I think, not Ride or Die. It was Ride or Dies or Spies, Lies, and Allies. One of the two where they switched teams. And he's been with her with the performance. And CT is like, look, I don't need those problems either, coach. Let's get Anissa on up out of here. Because she ain't finishing a final with me. If she's paired up with me, oh, it ain't happening, coach. So, Anissa, I'm sorry, but it looks, to me, it looks like your time is up on the island. And with CT's eyes, and in Rachel's eyes. And Rachel puts, she's like, I think the men should decide the women, and the women should decide the men. Rachel, that don't make no sense. That's cap, coach. Rachel, that don't make no sense, but I see what you did there. You tried to, pull a fast one, a trap card on Anissa, per se. A confuse Ray. She tried to confuse him. But Anissa, she's not tricked by these tricks, and she's upset with Rachel because she thought she would have her back. Y'all don't talk like that, I'm pretty sure. And Rachel hasn't done a regular season in forever. And she's always going to have Tina's back, so she's just like, look, I ain't trying to get my hands dirty. CT, pick Anissa and let's move on. Avery says the team needs to get to know her. That's her argument. Didn't y'all have the night before to get to know each other? The little meet and greet session, the plane ride over, all that time. I know y'all spent a couple days there before this first challenge went down. Wasn't that your time to get to know your team? Why do we need more time to get to know you? We watched you on All Stars 4, Avery. Didn't we get to know you a little bit then? That's your argument. Get to know me, guys. I'm a nice girl. I worked at Hooters. I'm dating Adam. Get to know me. What else do we got to know, Avery? We learned your whole story. We need a better argument. Maybe she should have said, look, guys, I'm a weak competitor. You can beat me. Therefore, you should keep me for the final. That's a better argument than get to know me. Excuse me. Amanda says that her and Tori will have. So, Amanda, look, I will say that wasn't a good argument. You should have used better reasons than saying, I don't like you. I'm not friends in the past. I ain't gonna be friends in the future. I'm like, Amanda, chill. That's not the way to save yourself. You need to be like, look, I know we ain't friends, and I said we couldn't be, but maybe I was wrong. Maybe I was misinformed. Like let's start on a new league. Like Amanda, she was standing 10 toes, but not in her best interest. Oh, Amanda. I love Amanda. She's stubborn, but man, she should have switched it up here. Pulled a Jekyll and Hyde or something. I don't know. She's probably getting thrown in because Tori is like, nah. And Corey didn't have her back either. But the only thing she said is we have mutual friends in here so we can keep each other safe. That's a reach. It wasn't the best strategic implementation on her part. Polly says Josh's relationship with others on others' team won't get the team far because Josh says, I have a lot of relationships and I could use those to kind of work with it. That is, if he said that, we didn't really hear from Josh at all this whole episode. I forgot he was even there. Um, but yeah, he got called out pretty much. So Theo says he wants Polly, and Polly's like, for real? And Theo's like, yeah. And so he's like, all right, and that's what time is gonna be. And then they start getting in heated debate, and it's a fireworks are starting, and then that's where the episode ends. Great episode. I don't know if episode 2 is gonna be as long as this one, or episode 1.5, or whatever they call the second episode, episode 1 part 2. But this was a great episode. Like I said at the beginning, y'all, great episode. I'm looking forward to next week. I'm looking forward to the rest of the season. It looks like it's going to be a lot of great matchups. Looks like we'll get to see quite a bit of drama as well. And I'm excited. I'd say there's no really horse in the... I will have my personal favorites, but I'm going to let the show kind of determine who I'm going to root for. Because I want to see a good game, but I want to see the people who kind of deserve it and earn it win and play with the best strategic implementation. Who do you want to win? My person, I want Darrell to do well. I want a lot of Era 1 to do well. Tina, Rachel, CT, he's won enough. Banana's won enough. The people who's won enough, Jordan, I could see them go. I want to see some fresh winners. But we'll see how the people strategic implementation goes, and that will kind of be who I kind of really, 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 really push for. But we'll see. To be determined. Anyways, thank y'all so much for joining me on this challenge 40 episode 1 reaction recap episode. Is going to be lit up in here. We're going to go live. We're going to do our best to go live right after every episode since I got my YouTube TV fixed up and ready to go. And this is the first live that I've ever done live. I've done like went live, but after I recorded it. But this is the first one that we're going live, actually live real time. So thank y'all so much for joining me once again. This is the DeAndre Way signing out. Till next time. I wonder what's gonna happen. It's probably gonna be Paulie thrown in. Probably gonna be Nerese. Probably gonna be Anissa. Probably gonna be, well, it's Derek. Probably gonna be Kara. Probably gonna be our man Brandon. Hopefully it's not Tony, and hopefully it's Jordan. I don't know. Air 3 is the only one I don't really know. All the other matchups I feel like I know. Hopefully it's not Tony. It's probably gonna be Amanda. And yeah, that's my predictions. So till next time, y'all. Appreciate it, and deuces. We out here. Have a blessed night.